Welcome back to another video, guys. Today, I'm going to be talking about how I think 2026 is actually going to be a really good year for Pokemon. And I'm also going to be talking about how I think that the prices that we see right now, I think the market has overcorrected. Yes, we just had a massive run up. Yes, things are pulling back. But I think so many different factors has all happened at the same time that is making the market pull back more than it should. And I reckon that once we get to Q1 or Q2 of 2026, I reckon that we'll see the market really go back up. So I'm going to be talking about all of that in today's video. But to firstly come to the conclusion that the market has overcorrected, for anyone who doesn't know, that basically means that the market has crashed too much. People have gotten a little bit too carried away. So in order to come to this conclusion, I have three different factors that I want to talk about on what has caused the market to crash. Now, there's three factors on why the market's pulled back. Number one is Christmas time. Generally around this range, people are focusing on going on vacations, spending money on gifts, and they're not really thinking about Pokemon. That's the first thing. The second thing is that the market just had a massive run up for about 8 months. A lot of things went up a lot in price. So then therefore they are also pulling back at this time of the year. And then the final thing is that One Piece has stolen the show. This is something that happened when OP05 came out 2 years ago, and it's happening the same with OP13. It is stealing the liquidity in the trading card world. But all of these are temporary things. That's the beauty about it. It's not like some regulation just got passed and you're not allowed to buy trading cards anymore, right? Like, all of these things are temporary. So what happens once it's no longer Christmas time? What happens once people go back to Pokemon like they did with One Piece? They went from Pokemon to One Piece and then they came back. And then more importantly, what happens when a lot of people who made money last year, and then more importantly, what happens when a lot of people who made money this year have all sold their investments? They've exited the game. The market has bottomed. Christmas time is over and people are back in Pokemon. So this is lining up for Pokemon to do really well next year. But it doesn't end there. You also have Ascended Heroes. Ascended Heroes is a really good set. I think it rivals Prismatic Evolution. I still think Prismatic will do better short term. I do prefer Ascended Heroes. I will just say that I think it is a more fun set. It does have more variety, but if you're an Evolution, like, absolute fanatic, then yeah, Prismatic obviously you'll prefer. Me personally, I do prefer the variety in Ascended Heroes. But anyways, Ascended Heroes is going to bring in a lot of people because it's going to get very exciting. People are going to get very hyped. So this is what I think the timeline of 2026 will be. So I think we'll start off with Ascended Heroes coming back, meaning Ascended Heroes is about to come out, meaning there's a lot of excitement and there's a lot of hype. However, at the same time, people that are in One Piece, they've enjoyed it. It's been about a month, about 40-ish days, and they're going to start to look back at Pokemon and go like, oh man, that new set is actually a really good set. It's going to rope in a couple people. Now, the third outcome, people are no longer holding things, people have dumped their bag, and now the market will begin to recover. So generally, when people sell items, they no longer have more to sell, right? So when you have a really big pullback, it's not like it can just keep going to zero. And the reason why is that these people can't sell anymore, right? So let's just say a booster box goes from $100 to $1,000. Then one guy who holds 1,000 panic sells it and it goes down to $500. Okay, yes, it went down to $500. That's not fun, absolutely. But this guy can't sell anymore. So people panic selling something is a very temporary problem. That's definitely something there. Another thing I want to talk about is once Ascended Heroes comes out, people are enjoying the cards, people are, they're hyped. It's going to start to hit people sooner or later. That Sword and Shield is 3 eras behind. You've got Mega Evolution, the latest era, then you got Scarlet and Violet, and then you got Sword and Shield. It's getting old. So I reckon the first thing we're going to see, any leg up from the market, I reckon we're going to see a Sword and Shield leg up. The reason why is Sword and Shield is so old. However, then we're going to move on to 30th anniversary hype. As leaks come out, as more hype comes out, Pokemon trademarks a name, which they already have, but different things that will, maybe they leak the logo of it, and then slowly but surely there'll be hype building up, there'll be tension building up. What's going to happen next? So let's just put ourselves in this world, okay? It's February, March, and Ascended Heroes has come out. A lot of people are back in the hobby. People are, Christmas times are over. People are back into Pokemon from One Piece, and people are overall enjoying the hobby again, and they're going, man, this is great. All right. So then Sword and Shield goes up. People go, oh my goodness, the market's back. Sword and Shield is going up. What do you think happens next? April. April is when the first half of Scarlet and Violet goes out of rotation. So now you're going to see a bunch of sets now out of rotation. People are going to start FOMOing into it. 151, Paldean Fates. So we're going to see money move from Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield pumps up, causes a lot of hype, and then it's going to move to early Scarlet and Violet. So then what's going to happen is you've got the tension of 30th anniversary. You've got new sets that are now out of rotation. So there's going to be a lot of events happening next year. There's going to be a lot of things to look forward to next year. And that's how you can know that the next year is going to be a good year. 2025, I knew that 2025 was going to be a big year the second Prismatic Evolutions was announced and Destined Rivals. When I knew that those two sets were going to be in the same year, I pretty much prepared for 6 months in advance. I was preparing in August, in October, in November. I was buying up Surging Sparks. I was getting pre-orders for Prismatic Evolutions. For anyone who's new to the channel, I pre-ordered 10 ETB cases of Prismatic Evolutions. And I knew that it would sell out. And you want to know how? Because I saw Surging Sparks set it up really well, that selling out. But then Prismatic Evolutions is coming out in Jan, and the Death Riles is coming out in the same year. And I was thinking, like, obviously this is going to be a slam dunk of a year. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. So what did I do? I took advantage of that. I pre-ordered boxes when no one was really buying them. Prismatic ETBs, a lot of people waited. Those people regretted that. Me, I pre-ordered it the day I could. So it's very predictable that a year jam-packed with so many things happening is going to be a fairly successful year. Ascended Heroes looks amazing. Mewtwo, Dragonite, Gengar, multiple Gengars, multiple Dragonites. It looks beautiful, and tons of other cards. Then you've got really big household names going out of rotation. You've got Bubble Mew, you've got 151, you've got Paldea Evolved. These sets are such popular sets. They're going out of rotation of next year. So you've got a lot happening next year. When you've got a really eventful year, people naturally come back to the hobby. When do people leave? When Paradox Rift comes out, when Temporal Forces, Obsidian Flames, when sets like that come out. But when do people come back? When there's good sets. 30th anniversary, or just hyped up sets, 30th anniversary, Ascended Heroes. So it doesn't take a genius to really put two together that next year is going to be a really big year, which leads me to believe if next year is going to be a really big year, then this means that the prices you see right now is going to be the last time you see those prices. This is probably going to be the last time we see Evolving Skies at $2,000. I want to quickly, if you are watching this and you're thinking like, yeah, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I don't know if the market has overcorrected. So Evolving Skies booster box cases at their very peak was selling from $18,000 to $19,000 confirmed sales. Now they're selling all the way on the low for $9,800. That is almost a 50% pullback on the most expensive box of Sword and Shield, and arguably the best set of Evolved Pokemon, or a top 3 or a top 5, whatever. Really good set, very popular. For the booster box case, to pull back 50%. Yeah, the market's definitely overcorrected. You can't change my mind on that. Now, before we continue this video, I just want to quickly say something. So, if you guys are in Australia and you guys are in need of acrylic cases, something I've been doing for a couple of years now is sell Pokemon booster box acrylic cases and just Pokemon acrylic cases as a whole. It's something I enjoy and something I've been doing for a good while. So, if you're in Australia and you're in need of acrylic cases, make sure to check the description. But I'll just show a couple. So, I've got Elite Trainer Box acrylic cases. These are magnetic. It's going to be a little hard to show you, but it's got like a really nice magnet there. Then we've got like booster box acrylic cases here, which are definitely good to protect your booster boxes. This is also another really good one. And then I've got also like booster bundle display acrylic case. It's got a pretty decent amount of magnets, which then makes it pretty strong. It's pretty nice. It fits in there quite well, so it's a good thickness. And then finally I got booster box case acrylic cases. These things are heavy as, so it's very hard to show, but I hope I can kind of show it. Flexing the Evolving Skies booster box case as well. So if you're in need of any acrylic cases and you do want to help support the channel, make sure to check the description. I have it on my website. Now, I have a coupon code only for people who watch my videos and are in the Discord server. That coupon code is REAL110. Now, you can only use this coupon code if you are a real one, but I've got good news for you. If you're watching this video, you're a real one, which means any of you guys can use that code to get 10% off your order. It's just a little cashback just as a thank you for everyone supporting the channel. Buying one of these acrylic cases is the equivalent of watching like 1,000 videos of mine. So it seriously supports the channel and also helps protect your boxes. So if you're in need of any acrylic cases or you just want to support the channel, make sure to check it out in the description. I appreciate everyone who does place an order. You guys are so nice. I posted in my Discord server. Got a good amount of love from that, so I really appreciate that, guys. But anyways, let's continue. Now, one more thing we need to talk about are the sets coming out of next year. So this is a thing that a lot of people aren't really considering, right? We're looking at 30th anniversary. We're looking at Ascended Heroes, which is valid, But what about all the other heat coming out next year? There's rumors that there's the Emerald set that's going to have a Rayquaza. Realistically, we don't know if there is going to be a Rayquaza. It's not 100% confirmed, but there are pretty big rumors kind of supporting it, so you've got that. But you've also got other things like the Mega Storm set coming out. You've got a lot of good sets. Like, I personally am not investing in Phantasmal Flames, but the Charizard is a good looking card. They did good at building hype on it. They've done well at reprints. They've done well at making sure that it's available. Mega Evolution base. I don't know if you guys can hear that lawnmower, by the way, but anyways. Mega Evolution, seriously, if you can hear that lawnmower, please just ignore it. Mega Evolution base, it's a good set. Ascended Heroes, it's a good set. They're bringing out a lot of really good sets. So I would not personally be surprised if we see a couple more good sets next year. Now, 30th anniversary is something they only do every 5 years. 5 years is a pretty long amount of time. So that is definitely something to consider. It's almost like guaranteed that next year is going to be a pretty big year, because think about it, how many people are going to be coming back to Pokemon when they hear that Gold Stars are back, or Prime Cards are back, or Ponchos, or whatever they're going to put in it. I don't know if they're going to put X and Y, I don't know if they're going to put Crystal Era, whatever they're doing it. I don't really know. But the point is that it's going to bring in a lot of hype, because a lot of people are going to get really excited because there's going to be their favorite artworks remade. Who knows, maybe they'll make some new artworks, maybe they'll make some new Gold Stars. I know the Greninja Gold Star is an original artwork. There is no older Greninja Gold Star. It's just the ETB promo, right? If they do another Gold Star, there will be an immense amount of hype for it. Maybe if they make it like a pullable card, holy moly, it'll be really popular. If they remake e-readers, that will be insanely popular. So there's so many things to consider the 30th anniversary will have, but it's the only set in all of Pokemon where realistically, even if it's not that good of a set, it can still do really well just because of the hype and the anticipation. But you've got to remember, the last celebration set they did it in like October or September of that year, which was 2021. So if they do the same thing where they do it later in the year, then we're going to have like 8 to 9 months of all this anticipation. What are people going to do when they're hyped? They're going to look at the latest sets. They're going to look at Sword and Shield. They're going to look at Scarlet and Violet. They may look at 151. Think about it. Imagine you have Gold Stars in a set, right? Or e-readers. Say someone's favorite set is Skyridge, and then they remake like the Gengar, let's just say. So you got someone, their favorite card is that Gengar. They get told by one of their friends, like, mate, did you hear? They're making 30th anniversary. It's going to have a remake of the Gengar. You know, it's too expensive now, but you can relive your childhood and you can open up some and try and chase it. That person is going to look at that and go, that is so cool. But they're going to look at other stuff, and then they're going to stumble across 151, and they're going to go, oh my goodness, this 151 set is phenomenal. So that's kind of where I sit with 30th anniversary. I think it has a lot of potential to just bring in anticipation. So yeah, I think 2026 will be a huge year for Pokemon. I think it'll be one of the biggest years we've seen. Maybe bigger than this year. Who realistically knows? But nonetheless, I think it'll be a really big year. So the prices that you see for Evolving Skies booster boxes, even that Chinese Gangachu, man, I've said it multiple times, but I'm looking to pick up one of those. And a ton of other things. I think this is the cheapest we're ever going to see them, to be honest, because the market has seriously overcorrected. Like, just like Evolving Skies, where, dude, that thing is down almost 50% from its all-time high. Definitely something to think about. Perhaps the market's overcorrected. Perhaps people pick up on that and go, oh, you know what, Evolving Skies cases are a bit too cheap. Might have to dabble into that. So, yeah, but that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think 2026 will be, but that is going to end it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.